Hello everyone. Today I'd like to address a really important question that more than a handful of my students have asked me. Maybe a question you're asking yourself. This is one of the most awful questions out there. So one, I'm going to answer it, and two, I'm going to give you a little bit of a chunk of advice on how to get past this in terms of mentality and confidence, etc. And then three, I'm going to tell you a really cool story about somebody who has proven my answer that I'm about to give you to be completely correct. So, first off, are you too old to begin playing guitar? My answer is no, not at all. And I don't care how old you are. There's a couple reasons. One, guitar is just an absolutely beautiful activity to do, to enjoy, to get better at. And at the end of the day, it does not really matter how good you get, though you should always try to get as good as you possibly can. But at the end of the day, it's something that you are pursuing really for yourself, and it's something that will teach you not only patience and practice, but will also give you the opportunity to experience music in a way that folks that just listen to it cannot experience it. And I'm telling you, if you get to that moment where you are experiencing music and you'll know it when you feel it, it's just not something that can be replaced at all. So let's say you are a fairly late starter. Let's say you're 50. What should you do? I mean, there's a lot of catch-up. Yes, there is a lot of catch-up. Well, you should tighten up your practice routine. That's the biggest piece of advice that I can give you. My practice journal, you can get that by clicking the card up here in the corner. My practice journal template will help you do that. And a good teacher will too. I mean, you definitely should get a teacher. The big thing is if you practice things in the right order and you're really careful with your first year to year and a half, you're probably going to sound pretty dang good after that year to year and a half. But you have to be very, very careful. Now, you might not get to the level that like a John Williams classical guitar player. You just might not get there if you're 50 and you're starting, because he started when he was very, very young. But you still might be able to play a handful of the great pieces of classical guitar. Let's say you're a blues player. I think that's a great genre to start late in, because it is really based off of musical form and then personal expression at that point. Chops are, I don't think, quite as heavy in the blues genre as opposed to, for example, classical guitar or some of the fingerstyle guitars. So let me tell you a story about a guy named T. Model Ford. This guy started playing the blues at the age of 58. After his fifth wife left him. 5 wives leaving him. I mean, that guy had the blues. He died, I think he was like 93, so the guy had good genes. But he was actually picked up by a record label called Fat Possum Records, and he played concerts into his old age, and that's how he made his living. He started playing guitar at 58 and became a professional blues player. That's just absolutely incredible. And he is a testament to exactly what I am trying to tell you here, which is if you pick up a guitar and you really take it seriously and you are able to structure your practice and learn how to do things, you'll sound pretty good. You will. There are some limitations with starting late, and that should be on the table, but it is very, 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 very approachable. And I encourage anybody that's starting late to, first thing, start looking at your technical routine, start looking into music theory. Of course, you can check out Music Theory in One Lesson, linked in the description below, which is just blowing up right now. You learn to read music, etc., etc. My personal favorite guitarist ever, Stepan Rack, I believe he started when he was 19. And he is probably the best guitar player that ever existed, maybe ever. So, what I'd like to hear from you is, are you a late starter? And if so, what steps are you taking to make sure that you reach your goals? Tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to get your practice journal, subscribe, and definitely check out the next video. Happy practice, guys. Definitely do not forget to subscribe and like this video.